Hello everyone, I am Anju Yedatkar. Our topic is transaction states in database management system. Okay, we are discussing this concept on the basis of this particular diagram. Okay, we see the transaction. What is transaction? This is all done in our previous lecture. Now, what are the states, different states in transaction? Okay, here see in a diagram there are many states. First is active state, partially committed state, committed state and terminated state, and also have failed state and abort state. All these states or the execution we see serially. Okay, first is a active state. Okay, a particular transaction in a active state. Then whenever a particular transaction is done, read and write operation will be done. Okay, after the read and write operation, the transaction is goes to in partially committed state. Okay, then it will be permanent store and it will goes to in our committed state. After the data or changes will be stored permanently in database, the transaction goes in terminated state. Okay, this is first scenario. Now we see second scenario. Okay, whenever a particular transaction in active state, after read and write operation, it will go to the partially committed state. But if there is a failure occur, it will directly goes to fail state. Okay, after going to fail state, it will roll back and goes to abort state. Whenever the transaction is goes to in abort state, it will be directly terminate. Okay, and it will goes to in terminate state. It is our second scenario. Now see our third scenario, that is active state. A transaction in an active state directly goes to fail state. Okay, some type of failure occurred and it will be go to in fail state. After going to fail state, it will roll back and it will go to abort state and terminate state. These are the different states in our transaction. Now we can see one by one. Now active state, when the instructions of transaction are running, then the transaction is in active states. If all the read and write operations are performed without any error, then it goes to partially committed state that we discussed previous slide. If any instructions fails, it goes to the fail state. Now what is partially committed state? After completion of all read and write operation, the changes are made in main memory or local buffer. Okay, if the changes are made permanent on the database, then the state will change to commit state. Okay, and in the case of failure, it will go to fail state that we seen in diagram. Now what is fail state? When any instructions or any instructions of the transaction fails, it goes to the fail state. Or if failure occur in making a permanent changes of data on database. Now what is abort state? After having any type of failure, the transaction goes from failed state to abort state, and since in previous state the changes are only made to local buffer or main memory and hence these changes are deleted or can be rolled back. Okay, now committed state, it is the state when the changes are made permanent on the database and the transaction is completed and therefore terminated in the terminated state. Now our last state is terminated. If there isn't any rollback or the transaction comes from the committed state, then the system is consistent and ready for new transaction, and the old transaction is terminated. Now these are the all states in our transaction states. Okay. This is all for